and remind yourself that you started here, now you're here, okay? And just be kind to yourself, you know?
I always think 3 years ago me would be screaming
Exactly.
at where I am now.
Like literally, like 1 year ago me would be like, what?
10 minutes ago me.
Literally, yeah.
Hi, and I'm so excited to welcome you to the first ever episode of our brand new show, How I Got Started by Affordable Socials. My name is Jemima Toms and I will be your host. Today we have a very special guest. She is not only an actress, influencer and social media star, but she has amassed over 100,000 followers on Instagram, which is absolutely crazy. She's here today to talk us through her journey of how she got to where she is, her triumphs, her tribulations, and everything in between. So join me in welcoming the beautiful, amazing Farida Haddad. Hi. Welcome to the show. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Our first ever guest, which
yeah,
is...
I know, right? I'm so lucky.
We're so excited to have you. How are
you.
you feeling today? How are you feeling about this?
I'm good. I'm a little bit nervous because I haven't done a proper interview before, so this is really amazing.
Me neither.
I'm so glad it's you. Yeah, I know. I'm really glad it's you interviewing me, so I'm quite excited as well. So
what's so funny is we actually have met before.
Yes.
We've worked together as influencers, so this is a really nice kind of
nice little catch up.
Yeah, definitely. So we're going to be asking you all about what you've been doing the past few years, how you got to where you are, and we are just so excited to hear your story.
Oh, thank you so much.
We cannot wait.
I'm excited.
So welcome to the show. We are
Thank
so
you.
happy to have you. So let's talk about right from the start.
Mm-hmm.
So did you always know you wanted to go into this field?
Honestly, no. I was always a little performer, since I was very, very young. I think I did my first competition when I was 6 years old with my cousin. We did a little dance competition while we were on holiday and we came, I think it was second, but we were so proud.
Oh, cute.
Yeah, we got boxes of M&Ms and stuff. So that was the best gift ever. But I feel social media obviously came after.
Yes.
So yeah, not always, but got there in the end.
You got that, 100%.
Yeah.
And what was your childhood like growing up? What was your upbringing like? Is there anything within your kind of childhood that made you think, I want to get into more social media stuff?
Honestly, my childhood was very simple. Very, very simple. I come from quite a large family. So my mum has 14 brothers and sisters. Exactly, I know. So I've got so many cousins.
Oh, wow, you must...
Yeah,
family
so
parties.
Are my best friends. Yeah, oh my God,
crazy.
yeah. Birthday parties are insane. You don't need to invite anyone, just cousins, uncles, aunties. So like I said, my upbringing was just very simple, just family and stuff. And social media was not in the cards.
No.
We were more about climbing trees and stuff because my granddad had a farm, a chicken farm as well. So on weekends we would do things go egg picking and get paid for it.
That's so wholesome. I love that.
Yeah, it's very different to what I do now.
Yeah.
But I feel maybe deep down, I always wanted to do something in the industry. I just didn't know what it was because I was very young. So
of course. Yeah. Well, earlier you said that when you were on holiday, you came second in the dance competition.
Yeah.
Was there any other experiences in your childhood like that made you think, I want to be in the entertainment industry?
Honestly, I have an aunt who's an amazing dancer, but she never did anything with it, and she was also a really good singer.
Oh.
So, whenever all the cousins would come round and stuff like that, we would learn routines. So, this did really make me think that I do want to get into the entertainment industry, but I never thought that I would do it. Can
I just say, I want to join your family. It sounds really, really fun.
Yeah.
It sounds fantastic.
Yeah, honestly, they're amazing. There'll be 7 of us and we'll all be okay, so right, now we need to learn this routine. Yeah. And then we'd perform it in front of my aunts and uncles and grandparents.
Me and my brother and my dog never got there.
I was very fortunate. Honestly, I really was.
Oh, it sounds so exciting. So you had an aunt that was really kind of talented, but she didn't do anything with it, and you kind of thought, I want to take my talents and do something with those.
Honestly, My mum as well, she was quite a good dancer as well, but it was mainly my aunt who was just up for, teaching us routines and making us perform and stuff like that. She actually taught us the routine for the little competition that we did. It was me and my cousin.
So cute.
And we came second, so we were like, yeah.
And do you think those kind of figures in your life really drove you and gave you the ambition that you have now? Or was there anything else that kind of pushed you?
I think performance-wise, yes. However, when it comes to like being, independent and working for myself and so on, I feel like that came from more like my granddad and my mum, because my granddad built his company from scratch, He became like a really big businessman. He had so many businesses going on and he did it all by himself. So that really inspired me.
That's really inspiring, yeah.
Honestly. And also my mother being a single, independent woman, because my parents, they got divorced when I was like 11. And my mum, because my family, not all of them live in the country. So she lived here by herself with us and looked after us, paid the rent, did everything. So that really inspired me as well, I think. To just do like my own thing. So.
We love a strong, independent woman.
Yeah, we really do, don't we?
Yeah, we do. Well, that's amazing. You sound like you had a really rich and fun childhood.
Very wholesome.
Very wholesome, yeah.
Definitely.
In your journey, kind of moving on from that point into where you are now, was there like a really pivotal moment for you where you were like, this has really shaped and changed my career? Or was there just a moment where you were like, this is it, this is the one for me?
I think it was probably just around the time like the whole COVID thing was happening, because I was working before. I worked for so many different companies. So I worked in admin, I worked in sales, I worked in advertising, I worked as a waitress. I did so many things and I'd always quit like after 3-4 months. Bear in mind, I don't even know how I got these jobs because I didn't really have experience, but I'd always like wing it somehow and get the job.
The confidence is key.
Honestly, I would just go there and be like, yeah, I've done this, I've done that. I lied quite a lot on my CVs, but whatever. But during COVID, I had nothing. I was just like, okay, I'm not making any money. I don't know what to do. So I think that was the moment where I decided, like, you know what? I can work from home. I had a little base of followers on Instagram just because I traveled quite a lot. So whenever I traveled, I gained followers. And I just thought, what if I can make this like a job? Because then I can work from home. It doesn't matter where I am. It doesn't matter if everything is closed. I don't have to go to work. I can work from home. I can make money from my bedroom.
Yeah.
So I think that was the moment where I was just like, okay, let's do some research and let's kind of try and get this started. So, yeah.
Amazing. And you said you started, so you traveled a lot and I guess you posted about it and then kind of gained followers from there.
And it was unintentional as well. Because when you're on holiday, you're just like always posting. You're like, yeah, I'm on the boat. Yes, I'm on the beach. Yes, I'm going lunch. Like, you just have fun. Like, and you want to share that with people. And I feel like that gained me international following. So I traveled quite a lot. I don't know, like 1 month I'll be in Mykonos, next month I'll be in like Sydney or, Miami. And that helped give me a base.
Yes.
But it wasn't intentional. I had like a small little base, but I wasn't working with it. I wasn't doing anything with it. It was just there.
It was just there. And then kind of from then, because I see a lot of your content is quite fashion-based as well. Did you kind of transform into that slowly as you went along?
Yes, because I didn't want to just have like male followers, because that doesn't really work. If you want to work in fashion, you can't have male followers. The key is to have more female followers if you want to work in fashion. If you want to work in tourism or sports, then it's fine to have like 50-50 because, that's the consumer, I suppose.
Yeah.
So I was just like, you know what? I need to figure out what kind of content I want to do. What do I want to work with? Who do I want to work with? So I literally would go and look at all the brands that I liked, that I was already, using.
Yeah.
Like outfit-wise, makeup-wise, so on. And I would look at their pages. And even though they weren't sending me anything and I wasn't working with them, I would shoot content. This is what I started doing, shooting content, matching it to their page so that it has the same mood board, posting it and tagging the brands to try and get their attention and potentially get reposted by them.
So it's like you're pitching yourself to them. It's like you're saying, here's what I can do for you. Here's my aesthetic. I think we match. What do you think? That's kind of what you were doing.
Just being like, I like this. This is how I wear it. What do you think of my style? Wearing your stuff.
Yeah.
And then I feel like as well, that helps because then other brands see it and then they're like, oh wait, is she working with them?
Yeah.
They don't know because, you know, they just don't know. You just see their setting and they're like, oh, well, this is cool. Is she working with them? Maybe if she's working with them, maybe we can work with her too. And plus you have a chance as well. If the brand likes what you're posting, they can repost your stuff.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
It's like a domino effect. And then you gain followers from that and you potentially can work with them as well. You know?
It's fantastic. So what you did is you really had the confidence to create the content, to put it out there. You said, I'm going to do my research. I'm really going to look up what I like and how the brands like it, and I'm going to put it out there. And here you are. It clearly worked for you. I mean, now you're here working with these fantastic brands that you really wanted to.
Yes, honestly, yeah.
So you're doing something right.
Very grateful. Yeah. Honestly.
So talking kind of about that confidence and everything, I know there's a lot of risk associated with that as well. Was there ever kind of an opportunity that you really took a risk? You took a leap of faith and it just paid off for you?
I think just basically even just starting to do it.
Yeah.
You know? Just starting it is a risk because you don't know whether it's going to work, whether it's not, and whether, you know, because obviously you have people that follow you that you know as well.
Yeah.
You know, so then you're like, oh, are they going to think that I'm like a loser, just like, you know, pretending to be an influencer?
Are they going to judge me?
Yeah,
Are they going to
exactly.
talk about me? All that kind of stuff.
So for me, that was a bit like something that I had to deal with, but I just had to put it in my mind that they're not paying my bills.
No.
I'm going to be paying my bills. This is what I want to do. So you kind of have to block all of that out.
Yeah.
Block all, you know, all the hate, all the negativity, and I just had to like believe in myself. And honestly, that was what got me through everything. So
It's
for me,
amazing.
that was the risk.
It's amazing, yeah.
And continuing with it, I think, was taking another risk because after everything, you know, lockdown was lifted and so on, you don't have another job. So you're like, is this going to work?
Yeah.
Am I going to actually make money? Am I not? So
Do I take that jump and really pursue this full time?
Yeah.
And that's a really big decision. It's a tough decision.
Exactly.
Definitely.
So, yeah.
But it seems as though you have a lot of confidence and you really trusted in yourself and trusted the process, and here you are.
Well, yeah, I mean, fake it till you make it, literally.
So when you were kind of developing your brand, developing yourself as an individual, and you were growing on this long journey, which is still going on, you're still growing, still moving, what were the key milestones for you where you were like, okay, this is awesome. I've just hit X amount of followers. This is so cool. Is there a key milestone for you or a few key milestones?
Yeah, I think the main one was getting invited to Fashion Week, London Fashion Week. Once I started to get invites for London Fashion Week, I was just like, what? Like, this is insane. I'm not a model. I'm 5'4".
We love a short queen.
Yeah,
a short
you
queen.
know what I mean? I'm not into, like, I love fashion, but, you know, we don't get the opportunity to do high fashion when you're slightly shorter. So being invited to Fashion Week and then having the brands ask you to come into their office to do fit-in so you can wear the brands at the shows and sit in front row and all of this stuff was just mind-blowing to me.
Yeah.
That's when I just thought, whoa, I love social media. I love this. This is incredible. You know, the little girl inside you is just
screaming.
Like, wow.
Screaming.
Yeah, yes. I made it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, like, oh my God, I'm at a fashion show.
Yes.
Yeah.
Even my mum was just like, wow, seriously?
Can I come?
Yeah, because they would deliver as well, like the outfits. You go into a fitting and then they will get somebody to bring the outfits to your house. My mum would be like, oh my God, this is so cool.
It's so cool.
I think that was like a big moment for me, honestly.
It's huge.
Incredible, yeah.
And there are so many little personal journeys and personal triumphs on this road that you kind of think, wow, I remember, you know, a year ago when I wanted to be there and now you're here. And it's just, you have to celebrate every single milestone.
You really have to enjoy that moment.
Definitely.
And be proud of yourself because sometimes you want to kind of just be like, okay, what's next? I've done that, you know, and you just forget. You forget about what you've already done, what you've already accomplished. So I feel like you really need to enjoy those moments.
And I feel a lot of people are comparing their journeys to other people's journeys. And I think for me, it's so important to remind everyone that your journey is just that. It's your journey. And every milestone is personal to you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's a marathon, not a sprint. So just work on yourself and, you know, just make sure that you're happy. It's your image. It's you. It's, you know, you are the brand. You are your own brand, depending on what you want to do. But you are your brand. So take your time. Don't compare yourself. Just do the work. That's all that matters. Do your work. Don't be lazy. Honestly.
Put the work in, have a lot of confidence.
Yes.
And was there any challenges? Like, what was the biggest challenge you faced during your journey?
I think probably not knowing when I first started, not knowing when the next paycheck will come through.
You work very job to job.
Exactly.
It's tough.
So like for the first 6 months, I felt like, okay, yes, I think like my first partnership, I was shocked. I think I had maybe like 30,000 followers. First brand that got in touch with me, they were like, yeah, we want you to do a reel for us. And it was like, I was like, okay, great. And they said, we'll pay you like $850. And I was like, what? For a reel?
It's, yeah.
I was like, what? I'm like,
You're gonna pay me?
Yeah, I would have done it for free, for the free products. So I feel like, not knowing when the next paycheck is. Obviously, later on, I realized that you start to get contracts, like 6-month contracts, but then there's a lot of the partnerships that are like, you'll work with them for 1 month and then after you don't hear from them for like another 3 months.
It's a very fickle business.
Yeah, this was like something that I did kind of like struggle with.
100%. And you never know. That's why it's really important to be smart as well with what you're doing and really plan ahead. But
Just in case.
Just
side hustle. Yeah.
But I mean, that first feeling of being told that you're going to be paid for something you love doing, I mean, that must be amazing.
Well, yeah, I was just like, I couldn't sleep. I know this sounds ridiculous, but I remember I couldn't sleep. I was so excited, just like sitting, waiting for like the next email from the brand, being like, oh my God, are they serious? And plus, like, bear in mind there's a time difference because they were based in America.
Yes.
And I'm based in the UK and it's like 3 a.m. and I'm waiting for her to email me back, being like, oh my God, I hope she doesn't change her mind. Is this like for real?
Email me.
Honestly, like when it's your first partnership, you're just like, no way, this is how much content creators can make.
Yeah.
From doing something that you really love in your bedroom or whatever, in the streets, it's just crazy.
So that sounds like a huge breakthrough moment and an accomplishment for you. 100%. I know you said that London Fashion Week was also a big moment. Was there any other moment so far in your career where you were like, this is a huge milestone accomplishment for me?
Yes, there's another one, which was basically, this was last year. So I decided that I wanted to pursue my career in acting. Like I said, I always wanted to be a performer and so on. And yes, so I was really, really fortunate. I decided, I was like, do you know what? I use social media for everything. So why don't I try and marry that with this industry and just see how it goes? So I wrote a monologue, taped it, filmed it in my bedroom with my little stand and everything, honestly. Then I was like, what am I going to do? I don't have an agent. I don't know how to start this. Like, how can I do this? So I decided, you know what? I'm going to post this on Twitter. Posted it on Twitter, hashtagged it, actor, looking for an agent, seeking representation, blah, blah, blah. Literally the next day, I think it got like maybe like 20,000 views. Bear in mind, my Twitter account had like 200 followers or something. I used it like once a year. And then
the power of hashtags.
Honestly.
The power of hashtags.
And social media.
Yeah.
And off the back of that, no joke, I think I had like 9 agencies get in touch and, asked to have an interview.
So it's all about, again, with the confidence and the willingness to try and to learn and to put yourself out there. And I think that applies to anything anyone is doing. If you're starting out, I mean, you just started out in acting as well. So you just started out and you thought, I'm going to put myself out there, and you did it. And I think that is such a great lesson for people to take away, is sometimes you have to step out on a limb a little bit.
Give it a try,
So let's kind of move on a bit. So what do you believe are the key factors for success? I know we've talked about a few different points, confidence and putting yourself out there. What do you think are the key factors?
I think definitely hard work. You have to really work hard. And I think the main one for me is believing in yourself.
Yeah.
You have to believe in yourself. Don't just block everything out, and just remember, if you don't do it for yourself, then no one else will. So if you want to do something, if you want to start social media, or if you want to do acting, if you want to do modeling, whatever it is that you want to do, believe in yourself and
100%.
Put in the work.
Because you have to be your number one fan. You have to be the driving force. It has to come from you.
Yes.
And I think that, again, is such an important lesson that you can take into any sector of work, whether it's social media, entertainment, business.
Anything.
It has to come from within, 100%. That is a fantastic point. Are there any other key points you feel
I feel like work hard.
Work.
You have to, do your research. Make a plan. That's what I did. I had a plan on my iPhone. I remember, to be fair, I didn't have a laptop. My first paycheck was I bought a laptop. So I was like, I need a laptop. I'm going to invest in myself. Make a plan. Go online, do some research, connect with other people. What I found helped me the most in social media was connecting with other influencers. I was so lucky. I had a girl DM me on Instagram. I told you, I think, this story.
Yeah.
Incredible. A big influencer from Mexico dropped me a DM and was like, I love what you're doing, blah, blah, blah. And then she said, I have a group chat which has influencers from all around the world. And what we do on this group chat, we all send contacts for different brands that we've worked with, whether it's paid brands or gifting brands, and we just help each other out, really, give each other advice and so on. So she was like, the only requirement we have is that you send 3 contacts a week. Are you interested in joining? So I was like, yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Sign me up.
100%. And I saw this online when I was doing research before I started working on social media. It did say like one of the main things you need to do is connect with other influencers.
Well, I think people forget that social media is first and foremost a community.
Exactly.
You're there to make friends, to connect, to build kind of relationships, and people kind of forget that.
Yeah, and creating together is just wonderful, honestly.
Exactly, and one of the key points we talk about at Affordable Socials a lot of the time is connecting with other people and other creatives in the same industry and everything else. Other niches, connecting with people.
Exactly.
And I feel like that's what you did. You went out and you put yourself out there and you connected with these people, which clearly worked very well.
I'm really lucky, I think.
No, I don't think luck is in it. I think you worked really hard and you pushed yourself and you're here, and I think that's awesome.
Yeah. Thank you.
But it's so nice that you were able to build your own community with your 100,000 followers. Yeah, I always think if you saw 100,000 people in a stadium, you'd be like, wow.
Honestly.
I have a lot of friends.
Yeah, because I'm like, oh, I've only got like 100,000. But then I'm like, actually, you're right. If we tried to fit them all in this room, it would never happen.
We would not be okay. And kind of, okay, so you've got these 100,000 followers, you've got this great community. What advice would you give to aspiring entrepreneurs, people who are looking to get into whether it's business or social media? What advice would you give based on your experiences and the lessons you've learned, I'm sure, the hard way, as we all do?
Honestly, yes. I would say do your research. Do your research. Make a plan. Stick to the plan. Just tick off everything from that list that you have. And believe in yourself. I always say
like
this,
that.
but you have to. No, but you genuinely have to. And I think these are my main ones. And don't be afraid to put yourself out there. Just don't be afraid. Believe in yourself. Do it. What's the worst that can happen?
Exactly. I mean, okay, you post something on social, you get laughed at. So we move on.
Honestly, you fail, you try again. You just keep trying until you get there.
I mean, you have to think, what's the best that can happen?
Yeah.
Exactly. And I mean, you literally just said, like, you planned it on your iPhone. You don't need thousands of pounds of fancy equipment. You don't need to spend all of your money on all this stuff because you have everything you need. Yeah, I mean,
Everything was on my iPhone.
You can start a whole business from an iPhone.
Honestly, that's literally what I did. iPhone.
Okay, and so can you give us a glimpse or insight into a typical day of Farida? What's a typical day for you? Okay. So you wake up, you greet your 100,000 followers.
No. Hello. No. Well, first thing would be coffee.
I agree, 100%.
It's like
I do not function. I will not function.
I'm addicted to coffee, honestly. Like, after a certain point, I have to, like, start drinking decaf because I love it so much. So I'm like, okay, now let's just decaf because you're going to just keep drinking and drinking.
I know we were talking kind of earlier as well and saying that the life within this industry is incredibly varied, and you might be working one day and have nothing for a week.
Definitely.
And you might be auditioning for 20 things, or you might be talking to loads of different brands and emailing all day and then nothing. So I guess that's kind of a hard question to answer because every day is so different. But let's kind of go through a typical-ish day for you.
So what I would do, First thing, like I said, coffee. Sometimes meditation, just because I feel like it just grounds me. And sometimes I spend too much time on social media that it does make me a little bit anxious. So I feel like meditation helps me quite a lot. So when I do feel a bit anxious, I go on YouTube, just put on a little 5-minute meditation video, relax a little bit, and then just start off with my list, because I've always got a list. So whether it's content, whether it's self-tapes, like for auditions or whatever, I just start off with that. So content-wise, whether I'm on holiday or whether I'm in the UK, what I do is I wake up first, wherever I am, do all my content, bang it all out.
Yes.
If I have like 4 or 5 different brands to create content for, I don't do that every day. I try not to do that. I just pick a day, do all the content that I need to do, get it all out of the way, and then after do like my self-tapes or whatever. So then it's all done, then start the editing process.
So we were talking about bulk shooting content.
Much
Even
rather do
if
that.
you're an individual, a brand, it makes a lot more sense.
Honestly, yeah.
And I think it's such a great way to be consistent as well, because if you can do 1 day a week where you get all of your content done, it just saves you so much time in the future.
Yeah, and I feel like especially when you're traveling as well, you know, you want to go and do like live life, because people think I'm always like filming stuff, like hey, I'm on holiday.
But that's like
sometimes
5%
I don't want to
of
do
the
that.
day.
Yeah, sometimes I just want to leave my phone and I just want to enjoy what I'm doing.
100%.
Especially when you're on holiday, I feel like you're with your family or whatever it is. So I much prefer to just do all my work, because I take it very seriously. To be fair, I'll be walking around and I'll be like, ooh, this looks great. Maybe I can shoot that there. Or the colours go great with this area, so maybe we can come back like the day after. I've got one of my best friends, she's also an influencer, so we're always like this. I'll like send her a picture and I'll be like, ooh, what do you think of this
space?
We can come back here and shoot this. So my brain is always working, but I like just to shoot all my stuff and then go through the editing, just so that I can have me time.
100%, yeah.
I just think it's much better like that. Otherwise, you'll be working every single day.
And I think that also helps you to stay motivated.
Yeah.
Personally, for me, knowing that I don't have to shoot consistently for like a week straight, knowing that I can do it all at once and then really focus on spending time and energy on editing, because editing can be just as important.
It is, yeah.
As the content.
It definitely is.
100%. Yeah. What else kind of helps you to stay motivated?
I go to the gym. That's why I try to do everything all together, just so that I have time for myself to go to the gym, to spend time with my family, because I feel like my family are so important to me.
There's a lot of people to get through in your family.
Yeah. Yeah, basically, yeah. So I feel like those are the main things for me. Going to the gym, just, you know, looking after my mental health, trying to eat healthy, because sometimes you forget about that when you're so busy working so hard. You just, you know, you'll grab like something at the coffee shop or whatever. You forget to look after yourself.
Definitely.
So I feel like it's really important to do that.
People can get really into the journey and the destination they're trying to get to, and then forget to look after themselves along the way. 100%.
And you can get lost as
well.
You
can, 100%. And it's so important to come back to you, because you are the driving force and you are what's going to make it happen. And you can't run a car with only 3 wheels. Yeah. So you've got to keep focused.
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you, I've been practicing that.
I love that.
Okay, so now let's think about your 100,000 followers, your fans, and I have got some fan questions for you.
Oh, God.
I know.
Great.
We had an array of questions, and I'm sure they're questions you've been asked time and time again. But
probably, yeah.
Let's get into it. Okay, so one of the questions we got a lot of, which was really interesting, was how do you deal with being an influencer or being in the public eye when you're in a relationship?
Okay, yeah.
If you want to go into it, it's up to you.
No, I don't mind. To be honest, I'm very lucky. It's very easy for me. I have a really amazing boyfriend, and he's very supportive. So he's one of the people who does my content for me. So.
We love a videography, photography boyfriend. I mean, a partner that can do it all. It's amazing. So
honestly,
lucky.
It took us a while to get there. I had to train him a little bit because his vision was not the same as mine. But he's lovely. He's really supportive. So it's quite easy for me, if I'm honest with you.
I feel like you you found someone who really appreciated what you do in your career, which is awesome, because it can be hard to understand, I think, for partners that,
Definitely.
you know, I sit on my phone for 4 hours a day, but this is my job, it's my career.
Yeah. I'm very, very lucky, I think, with this.
Definitely, if you're off, you know, shooting commercials or working with brands, you're in weird and wonderful
and having
places.
like on-set boyfriends.
Yeah.
Seriously, like he's just like, really? What? Okay. And
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, relax. And then he's like, no, I'm just joking. We'll make jokes out of it. If I send him like BTS shots, it'll be me and another guy like looking at each other, and he'll be like, oh, you don't look at me like that, you know. But it's all jokes. All jokes.
That sounds
and he
so
knows
healthy.
that. Yeah. He's very, very amazing. Honestly, I'm very lucky when it comes to that.
It's amazing. I suppose you also just have to be honest and upfront about this
Yeah.
is what I do, this is what I involves. Are you cool
He's
with it?
really happy with it, you know. I think like when I first met him, he didn't know I was an influencer, and then obviously afterwards we like added each other on social media and stuff, and he was like,
He was like,
"Wow,
oh, this girl famous.
you're famous." This is literally what he said. I was like, "I'm not famous. You're so weird." And he's just like, "No, but okay."
So he wasn't a fan, and then
no, just met just randomly, and then after I got him on social media, and then he was just like, "Oh, okay, great. So I'm dating someone famous." Woo. So it's like the complete opposite, you know. He's just very
Fantastic.
supportive, very lovely, and yeah, I really appreciate that.
That's amazing. That is so good. So we had some questions around that sort of area, but we also had questions about some of the brands you've worked with. So one of the questions was, what's been one of your favorite brands to work with?
There's so many.
Because I know you work with huge brands like Revolve and Fashion Nova, and just, I mean, there are so many, some smaller brands as well, which is amazing and so fun. Is there anything that you've been like, this was really cool, or this is a brand I've really admired?
Okay, so I'd probably say like my top two were obviously Revolve. Revolve is just an amazing brand to work with, and if you're into your fashion, then you know that it's like one of the top brands to work with because they represent other brands as well as Revolve. So that was like an amazing job for me. When we agreed to work together, I was just like, wow, okay, like now I'm being taken seriously.
Yeah.
So I really loved working with Revolve. The second brand would probably be Nadine Marabi, which is what I'm wearing right now.
Oh.
Yeah. I really loved working with them, and honestly, when they contacted me, I was more than happy to work with them. I was like, yes, please sign me up.
I think as an influencer myself, I think anytime any brand is like, we want to work with you, I'm like,
Yeah.
me? Really? Are you
Honestly.
sure? Like, it's such a nice feeling that someone reaches out and wants to work.
Yeah,
So,
it's surreal.
and you've had some incredible brands work with you, and I'm sure that's been so rewarding.
No, honestly, this brand, it was like I did exactly what we spoke about earlier on. I bought an outfit from there, tagged them when I posted, and then they just slid in my DMs. And they were like, do you mind if we repost your stuff? And I was like, no. And then they asked if they can like, if I was interested in doing like a partnership. So I was like, of course,
100%.
So yeah, that was my goal.
It's so nice that the way you really got into where you are and your kind of plan has worked, and you've seen the results from that. I think that's so nice that you had this plan of, okay, I'm going to go out and I'm going to post the content and see if they like it, and it's clearly working, which I think is amazing. It's great to see results like that.
Yeah, and it's, I'm wearing things that I like, so it's not like I'm just going out of my way to buy things just for fun, it's what I like.
100%.
And then just putting it out there. If they want to work with me, cool. If they don't, cool too. I still love the brand.
Do you think it's important to work with brands that resonate with your aesthetic and your belief system?
Yeah, 100%. Otherwise, you can't really relate to the brands, and you can't promote brands that you don't believe in. It just makes no sense.
Yeah.
To me, anyway. So.
I completely agree. I think if your core beliefs don't align.
No, yeah, then what's the point?
Exactly, 100%.
So finding your niche is very important, I think.
Finding your niche, exactly. Actually, so on that subject, this is so funny. Another question we had was, did you swap niches? Like, did you start off, because I know you started off with travel and then went to fashion. Did you ever try like a really crazy niche? Were you ever like, I'm going to get into K-pop? Something really just random.
No, I think from travel, I changed, and I wanted to make my brand or my Instagram be more a little bit more high end, and I didn't want any like bikini stuff on my profile. I wanted to get rid of all of that like 60-70%, you know, following from guys. I did not want that because that's not what I wanted to work with. I don't care. I'm not like, I don't want to be a bikini model. I don't care for that. So I just decided, I didn't post, I think, a bikini picture for maybe like almost 3 years.
So you evolved your aesthetic, you evolved your brand, you evolved your social media into where you wanted to be and the clients you wanted to work with.
And I archived, like my posts like bit by bit.
Okay.
So it was like just slowly kind of like changing the content bit by bit. And I didn't always just post myself.
Yeah.
I was really big on posting, you know, what I liked. So like shoes, I don't have to wear them. That's why I was talking to you earlier on about, you know, having that vision where I'll be walking around and I'll be like, ooh, this is cute. I'm going to come back and I'm going to shoot this there. Yeah. And I would like note it down on my iPhone and just doing things like that. So yeah, I think the big step for me was, you know, changing from that holiday bikini, swimwear image to this is me. I like fashion. I like, you know, beauty, makeup. Still like travel too.
Yeah, 100%.
But travel for like the views, the hotels, the food. This is what I wanted.
The cultures.
Yeah, exactly that.
I know they say kind of in old business practice, they say dress for the job you want. And I think that's the same with your social media persona, is you have to adapt your aesthetic for the brands you want to work with, not the ones you do. And that you are just a key example of doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
And to be fair, now I'm kind of in the process of changing my aesthetic a little bit as well.
Oh, so we're getting some future here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it's going more towards acting now. So
Yes.
it's still fashion because I love fashion and beauty and so on. And that kind of marries quite well with the acting industry anyway. But rather than just posting, you know, makeup and like outfits and stuff, I'm bringing in content with like my acting stuff. You know?
Yeah.
So what I've had done, so for example, I did like this BBC Three show that just came out. It was like my first role, had like a small little role on that. That's on my social media. So I'm trying to like mix it up now. So it's fashion and my acting.
It's ever evolving.
Exactly.
100%.
I love that, yes.
So obviously you're now kind of moving into a slightly different aesthetic, but you've still got that big fan base. So how important is it for you to really engage with your fans and your audience? Do you spend a lot of time responding to messages and comments?
100%. You know, as long as it's not something like inappropriate, I tend to respond to literally 99% of the DMs that I get or the comments that I get. Also, I like to know what my followers think. So, for example, if I have like an audition or something, especially where you don't have to sign an NDA for it and I can post it, what I'll do is I usually put up a little bit of the tape on my story and just kind of put like the question little sticker and just ask like, what do we think? What can we make? How can we make it better? Sorry. Or like, you know, trying out different accents. If I'm learning an accent, I'll put it on there.
Because it's really hard with accents to know if you're doing well.
Yeah, because I'm like, I think I'm doing well, but then I'm like, but am I though?
Exactly.
So I'll just throw it on my story and be like, what do you guys actually think?
That's fantastic because the court of public opinion can be such a diverse place with so many different opinions, but it's great that you're really listening and taking some kind of advice and some pieces. That's fantastic.
Yeah, and I try to also help in any way that I can. So if people are like, oh, how can I get into this industry? Like, what are you doing to get yourself out there? How did you get started? How did you like get an agent? How did you do this? I try my best to respond to all these questions just because I wish somebody did that for me.
100%.
You know?
And I guess someone, as you said, that the influencer you met and who messaged you.
I've never met her, but we're still friends. We've known each other for 3 years.
We love online
She
friends.
lives in Mexico. I live in London.
But she kind of took a chance
all the time.
with you and kind of reached out, and I guess
she's very clever. She started a whole community.
Amazing.
I'm still in that group chat. I think there's thousands of influencers
The
from
power.
LA to Australia to Europe to Mexico.
Wow, the power of social media, building a community. You cannot underestimate the power of an Instagram community.
Honestly,
100%.
Social media is everything nowadays, isn't it?
It is. So looking ahead to the future, I know you've said that you're adapting your aesthetic a bit to fit more into your acting, but what do you think is coming up for you in the future? What's your plans? Can you give us some sneak peeks, some insights?
Well, okay, so I'm going to start with my goals.
100%.
Okay.
We love a goal.
So my goals are obviously to land bigger roles. Bigger roles, work with more film and that sort of thing, more acting, that's acting-wise. I also really want to work with high-end, fashion brands.
Amazing.
This is what I really, really, really want to get to. But I feel like, again, once my acting career, starts moving even more, I feel like that will come naturally.
So you think if you spend energy in one aspect of your career, the other aspects of your career will kind of follow suit?
I think both. I will do both. I'm not going to stop. I love social media. I love fashion, so I'm not going to stop that. And if you do look at my Instagram, it's still fashion. And
I love your Instagram. It's so
I love yours too.
It's so nice.
Thank you.
Stop it.
I do.
It's the aesthetic is wonderful, and what I love about your Instagram, which I think some influencers get wrong, is you're not just always selling stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
It's so nice to just actually see you.
So important for me, yeah.
100%. Just to see you and what
the
you
farm.
like. At the farm.
Yeah. You can actually see that. You'll see me playing around with chickens, feeding the chickens, that sort of thing. So
it's fantastic.
I like it to be as authentic as possible, because I'm not always just posing for brands and blah, blah, blah. I'm not always just acting. So I do like to share a little bit of what I actually enjoy doing as well.
100%.
So I'll go fishing with my boyfriend, or
that's so wholesome.
He loves fishing, so
why do I want to go?
Yeah, and then I'll be like, oh, okay, well actually this is quite fun.
Yeah, this is really cute.
So it's not just about posing for brands. That's not how I built my followers anyway. Like I said, I already had a base, and then I was like, okay, I want to make this into a business. I want to make enough money so that I don't have to work, I don't have to do this, and I can do what I want with my life.
100%. And that kind of financial freedom as well is something I think a lot of us, despite the industry that you're in, aspire for, is to have the freedom to do what we love. And it's amazing that you can do that.
100%. Let's
talk about the legacy you want to leave behind. So, what do you want to leave behind for other people to follow, for other people to look at and say, that was Farida?
I haven't thought about that.
Would you say it's like the legacy of creating a vibrant community on your social media, the legacy of doing something you love?
Yes, this is what I was going to say. So I think just to remind people that you can achieve whatever you want, you can have it all. You just have to believe in yourself and work very, very hard. I mean, I'm not there yet, but I'm on my way, and I've learned that you can literally achieve anything you want. Nothing is impossible as long as you put in the work. Keep putting in the work, even if it takes you years and years and years and years. I've just started this acting thing, and it's been like a year. I've done like a movie, I've done like 3 films now, 1 BBC show, and it's only been a year of just throwing myself at everything, literally everything, any little role. So you just keep motivating yourself. Don't get me wrong, sometimes I do get low when I don't book auditions, or I don't get the show that I want, or I don't get to work with the brand that I want. I feel rubbish inside, but then I'm like, you know what, it's okay. You can feel like this just for a little bit, and the next day I'm like, okay, what's next?
What helps push you out of that zone? Is there anything you do that helps you get out of that mindset of, okay, I'm really upset I didn't get the
I think having like really good friends around you, family, good, relationships around you. These are the people that genuinely just help me feel better, because they kind of understand. Well, they don't do the same thing as I do. They're all like in different industries, apart from like my best friend. But these are the sort of people that pick you up when you're down, just kind of remind you why you're doing this, and how far you've come along.
Exactly, having a really good support system.
Definitely.
So key.
It's just like, and remind yourself that you started here, now you're here, okay? And just be kind to yourself, I
always think 3 years ago me would be screaming
exactly
at where I am now.
Literally, 1 year ago me would be like, what?
10 minutes ago me.
Literally, yeah. I love that, yeah.
Oh, that is just really exciting, and it sounds like sounds like you've got a lot of fun plans. It sounds like we haven't seen the last.
Just the beginning, right?
Just the start, 100%. And maybe we'll have you back in the show when you're won your Oscar and you're ready to.
Why not?
Why not?
Just
Come
for
back.
you.
So I feel like I've learned so much today about your journey, about what drives you, and we learn about all the experiences you've had, the good and the bad and the struggles. And it's been so interesting to catch up with you. And we just want to thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
It's been wonderful. It's been fantastic. I think from this conversation today with you, we have really learned that the confidence is key. Confidence is key. We have also learned that you have to put yourself out there and try, even if you do get rejected, keep pushing and keep putting yourself out there.
Just believe in yourself.
I think the key takeaway from today is
Believe in yourself.
Believe in yourself, 100%. And it's been so interesting to hear how you got started and where you're going now.
Thank you.
Well, thank you so much to our fantastic guest, Farida. It has been such a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you.
Now, we have got an exciting guest list of people coming up to be interviewed, and they are from all different niches, and we cannot wait to start new episodes with you guys. If you have enjoyed this, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Bye-bye.